So before COVID, I don't know. It's like, how do you even? Before COVID, it was just like normal. Like I had no idea that it was gonna happen. I was just in high school. I was like, that's a bunch of things. I don't think a lot of people were not prepared for.
2 years ago, COVID hit everyone's lives, changing what we used to call normality. Students who were still in high school when the pandemic started had a hard time adapting to the new remote learning system that was implemented. Nicholas Koskarat is a current freshman at Marymount Manhattan College. Like many others, Nick's high school experience was affected greatly by the COVID pandemic and shares his experience.
It was my sophomore year when COVID hit. So, end of sophomore year, going into junior year, which was a little weird because it was like right in the middle of high school, and like it's such a weird time for something like that to happen, for quarantine to happen, and with all this, it like led into online school. So I think that changed a lot with that.
The middle years of high school are considered by many students to be the best years to socialize and make friends. However, this wasn't the case for many students when the pandemic began. Another factor that also contributed to the students' lives during COVID was their location. All the states were affected differently when COVID hit, changing people's experience of the pandemic. Some people had to be in lockdown for several months, while others only had to stay at home for a few weeks and could go outside without much concern.
Being born in Florida with the whole COVID thing going on, a little bit more lax than other states. So I'd say I was still able to see my friends, but we were very cautious about it, and there was always that thing where we would want to see each other, but not want to like spread disease, and that's like scary, knowing that you can like spread disease just from hanging out with people. It's a weird time.
The quick spread of the virus around the globe was what terrified most people at the time. Watching the news and hearing that countries and states next to us were getting infected was something unsettling to hear. As Nicholas said, students at the time weren't able to hang out with their friends without the concern of infecting or getting infected by COVID. This deprived many people of their social lives, affecting their mental state and making it hard for them to build relationships in the future. Online learning didn't do much for students either. Being in front of a computer listening to the teacher talking didn't improve anything for students at the time.
After COVID, just trying to get used to everything. Masks were really weird. I'd say at first, like keeping them on all the time, and then I think afterwards learning when not to use masks, because eventually everything starts dying down. You get the vaccine, but like you're still wearing masks everywhere, so it felt weird taking it off. You know.
After COVID, everything was completely different. Masks became part of our outfit. Standing a few feet apart from other people became a law, and online meetings became the new way to hang out. Later on, all these rules stopped being as important because everyone was getting vaccinated, and COVID slowly became just a normal flu.
Talking to people was so much different now, because like you would use Zoom, and Discord became really big. Just a lot of the apps that like help you communicate with other people without like physical contact, and then you have to learn how to physically talk to people again, like make eye contact. And I'd say I was probably better at it before COVID, and then after COVID I had to like relearn how to engage with society.
COVID was a challenging phase for all of us. Many people who were still in high school when COVID hit had a hard time adapting to the new reality, then again readapting to the normal world. Those were 2 hard years for everyone, both physically and mentally. But at the end of the day, they helped us to become better and stronger versions of ourselves.